Hey guys, I finally figured out my password. Hopefully you guys can still with me. Anyone? Hey, uh, hello. How you guys doing? It's been a while, huh? As a matter of fact, it's been so while that I didn't think it would be this much longer. You know, it's good to be back here, but there is a lot of things that was happened in the course of years after years, and it has ups and downs. So right off the bat, my statistic on YouTube went downhill more than twice the less interested percentage, and I was worried that this channel are gonna be abandoned, and I don't want that to happen. Now that I came back, I'm gonna tell you all the progress on my journey since I haven't active for so long. Now before we move on, this is just a reminder that in this video there is gonna be a lot of broken English, nonsense talk, or even worse, some gibberish. So to prevent you guys to not be able to understand what the fuck am I saying, I have some subtitles that you can enable immediately. And without further delay, let's begin the journey. On July 24th, 2022, 2 days after this video that I uploaded, I was given an opportunity to be able to continue my studies in university, which didn't end in a good way, and you see it why very soon. That was taking place in a city called Samarang. It's a city in the middle of the island. However, I didn't immediately just go. I had to wait for at least 2 weeks to finally set off and make my way to Samarang. As the journey went on, things getting bored so fast inside the bus, so I went to watch EVO 2022, especially Skullgirls. 6 hours later, I finally arrived to the city and began my new journey there. Honestly, there was nothing interesting going on for a couple of months, but things finally picked up at December. The year of 2022 was gonna make it to the end. While it's mainly silent for days and weeks, things are changing. Couple of weeks past, I just posted these two random videos involving Christmas and New Year's Eve. I do that just because I was bored and to keep my YouTube alive for a while. After that, I pretty much silent at the first months of 2023. And while it's happened, I decided to make my decision, something which I didn't want to, and that is, I'm done with Skullgirls. Yes, the game that I bring so much enjoy and made a lot of content to entertain you guys, it's over. No more Skullgirls in my entire life. You know, thinking about to quit the game that you adore so much is a worse idea, and that's what happened to me. After that, I regularly play other games besides Skullgirls, and it got so bad that the game got abandoned very much soon. Maybe it's the end of me, or maybe there is still a hope. Okay, hold on a second there. This is getting out of hand real quick. So yeah, I quit Skullgirls and I play some other games. Let me explain this one, okay? After I played Tekken 7 Dark Revolution Season 5, I once felt grateful and praised by how good fighting game was, something I didn't see it often in a whole year. Now I'm not saying this because I don't like any multiplayer games, as matter of fact, some of them are really good. I just think fighting game is a better experience for me. Usually in other online multiplayer games, there are things you need to do to win, like for the example, objective, maps layout, team tactics, and the most important was the communication. And these four things means a lot in every 5v5 competitive games. However, fighting games does not need all of that. Well, some of them are, but not all of them. Everything that you do is for your own good. Execution and combo knowledge was part of what makes a player good at it. There are no communication whatsoever. Although there are a few of them, but the only thing that communicate is by yourself. You communicate yourself, and that's what makes funny games are special. It's just a different breed to me. And that is the moment where I decided to revisit Skullgirls once and for all. So I returned to Skullgirls. It was at this moment something feels wrong inside of my body.
Good fighting. Now, sandwich.
Yep. Yeah, this is not the best way to return. So I suck at this game for another time, and I start to get used once again because I haven't touched Skullgirls for over 1 year. Well, I guess this video doesn't seem too relevant to me after all. So after those clusterfucks experience, I decided to take a break from multiplayer for another 1 month. Although being off into online is something weird, but it also keep my mental health stable. I do lab for a couple of while, however it start to get bored over and over, and I feel like I can't get improved just like how I used to play back in 2022 nor 2021. But then something miracle yet innovative comes inside of my eyes. Out comes speedrun. Yes, speedrun. If you haven't heard it, Skullgirls do have a speedrun community. Oh hey, that's me. It started all the way back when the game was released, and 2 years later, the first ever speedrun was poured by the username of Funky Hellboy. Honestly, it was such a fun experience to learn about the speedrun community in Skullgirls, even fighting game speedrun in general. It was so fun that I got 2 world records in different categories. The first one being all story mode speedrun. By the way, this was recorded before all of season 1 past character was available, so Annie, Umbrella, Black Dahlia, and Mary did not include it in this one. And second from arcade mode in Nightmare Difficult. I do have a playlist on my entire speedruns video. I'll put the link in the description down below. But yeah, overall it was such a fun experience. Everything was justified and I learned something new. As 2024 steps in, things looking different than the previous year. Everything went from good to probably alter my life in the worst possible way, and I'll explain that later on. But for now, my YouTube channel started to pick up some bad signal. Though my views was okay, but the watch time and the amount of subscribers went 20% less compared in 2023. There's really nothing special about it by the early year, besides I bought Tekken 8. And speaking of Tekken 8, in the 2nd of July of 2024, me and my fighting game community held a tournament called Tekken 8 Master Gathering, which takes place in my hometown. Although it's not a big tournament, but we need to wait for another 6 months to hold the biggest one. Going to the tournament, it was a fun and exciting moment to see all of the underdogs who wants to compete to become champions. Everything here looks natural, including Indonesia's top players who wants to take the crown. I just love the vibe from this perspective. Although the booth was that we used was not that big compared to the other ones, but that does not matter at all. What matters is the energetic aura from the crowd. In the end, everyone was happy, and so the champions. This is easily one of my best fighting games moment I've ever had. Even though I didn't win the tournament, it's still one of my best on the list. At the very end, we went to take a picture together to celebrate the success of the event and to mark this as the beginning of what we are developing more. Oh, by the way, those footage was not mine. I didn't actually recorded everything there, so I'm giving a shout out to this guy for documented every single moment from the event. Oh wow, that was fun, right? Yeah, indeed that was. But unfortunately, all all of those excitement must come to an end. Well, here we are. Today finally arrived. The moment where it altered my life forever in the worst possible way, and all of this because of my fault. So 2.5 weeks later, after the tournament, I got a phone call from my university. They tell me that I didn't make it into graduation, aka I got dropped out from the university. It was later find out that I have a very bad grade. It was so bad that they doubted that I will survive with such a very bad grade I've ever seen. And after the incident, my family and my brothers, all of them was very disappointed when they found out about the information. It was a dark day to me. I have already made a post about my current situation a month ago. So basically, my life was fucked. I have disappointed all of my family, and now I'm in financially trouble. Why? Because as for exchange to leave, I had to pay $700 for my laptop. Yes, the same laptop that I made video all the way back in 2021. Now before you start typing, why don't you just go find a job to make your livings instead of being a whiny crybabies and don't want to find a single job? Honestly, I am 100% agree with you guys. I need to get a job instead of tell some bullshit stories that everyone did not gonna trust to me about it. But keep in mind, I was born and live in Indonesia. This is the country where it's almost impossible to find a single job, even as a cashier. To start, all of the requirements are very ridiculous. Once I found a job desk as cashier at a fast food restaurant, and I saw a requirement that you need to have a 1 year experience in IT. 1 year of IT experience. That was ridiculous, giving the requirement and job test that does not match at all. Even worse, height was also included in the requirements. If your height, for example, 165 centimeters and the requirement was 180, you're not qualified for the job. It's just so pathetic and disappointed. Now I say almost because fun fact, I have an opportunity to work in a factory months after the incident. I know it's not clearly my perfect choice to have a work, but at least I can fulfill my financial. Spoiler alert, it wasn't, and it ended even worse. So to summarize, I have a chance to work in a factory, specifically an electric bike factory. All I had to do was send my curriculum vitae, and that's it. I got accepted as a worker. Going into work for the first time, it was an honor to finally I can change my life and fix what I have destroyed for the last couple of months. But then, plot twist happened. So after 3 days working in a factory, I was informed by an overseer that I didn't qualify for the 3 days training, which they didn't inform me and others when applying the job. And what's even worse about it, I have to pay $65 to apply this job. And now that I don't work anymore, you might be thinking, where's the money that you paid them? Nothing. It's all gone. Going into the company's pocket, I guess. So yeah, the money didn't return. I just waste that much of money for nothing. However though, my other brother who applied the same job as me got accepted and had a contract for 3 months. But then, things got even worse again. So the company promised a good salary that's worth over $170 plus a health insurance. Sounds good, right? Yeah, until they changed their fucking mind. After a month of full-time work, my brother finally got his first ever salary. He was shocked that the amount of it was not the way he expected. And guess what? They cut the salary to half. So as a result, he only got $85 with no health insurance, which was supposed to be included health insurance when it first announced. But what stands out to me is that they don't have any canteen or a provided food for the worker. So you had to buy or make your own packed meal in order to eat or drink. Look, I got mad after finding out what happened. It was such a pathetic move to make a profit by just cutting some random person's salary. I'm glad that I didn't get accepted by some sketchy yet disgusting company like that. No wonder it felt suspicious. And that's the reason why it's so hard to find an honest job with an honest requirement. And speaking of dark, this is what we are dealing with. We are in the dark Indonesia moment where a government policies and plans is so stupid they ended up cutting the budget of free education program for $19 billion. You can check more details in YouTube about dark Indonesia. But now, this is where the story ends, and this is the reason why I came back to YouTube, because it's the only place that I can make a living for it. And lastly, I know this was a little bit too harsh for you, but if you can help me by donating throughout my PayPal, my life will be so much better. I don't mind if you only send me 1 cent, that is still helpful to me. My target was $700. That's the milestone to bring back my normal life once and for all. But if you can't donate me, that's totally fine, because you guys who watched the video and made it through here, it's already helping me at all. But if you don't want to, that's totally fine. I get the reason why. And finally, we reach to the end of the stories. Well, it all ends here. After that bizarre stories, it's finally came to an end. I just want to say that thank you to all of you guys who supported me from 2021 to this day. I promise I will be fully active on YouTube just for you guys. With that being said, thank you very much. Huh? Hey, over here. Wait, my browser was talking to me. What is he up for? Uh, 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 well, that sure wasn't that bad. Uh, oh, oh no. Oh no. Well, I guess we're continuing the video then. I completely forgot that I have a Q&A post. Oh no, people are gonna be pissed when their question didn't got answered by me and just got abandoned like that. Alright, I guess we're moving on. Let's start with the most asked question ever. So I got a bunch of people ask me how and when I got into Skullgirls. And honestly, that's a long story and kinda complicated at the same time. But first, we gotta go back to the past.
I think this Philia is sus.
The year is 2018, where it seems that memes and trends are taking over the internet, even at their standard. But on the other hand, there are other things that rules the gaming industries. I'm talking about the mobile gaming. By the looks of it, it feels like a good alternative way to enjoy gaming without have to thinking about your PC setup. However, many companies like Gameloft and other indies in mobile landscape has taken their chance to rise and make mobile gaming much better than the previous years. However, not many mobile games are good. Some of them were silly, but it's still fun. Although this is still debatable, but 2018 is the peak mobile gaming ever. But we're not gonna talk about the history of mobile gaming. Let's talk about the story of me. So, this is me, a 13-year-old me actually. At that time, I got addicted to mobile game for so long that I consider myself the best mobile gamers in history. However, all of that things gonna change not too long after. On 23rd of February 2018, it's actually 2 months before I made my Steam account for the first time. I was sitting on the couch inside my home while I play a game. A typical me instead. After playing for a total of 3 hours session, it got bored very fast because the game that I play regularly. So, in a curiosity, I check on my Google Play Store to see if there's any game that I really want to try. And then, I made my stop to a game that's called Skullgirls. At that point, I was curious about this game. So, I asked my big brother, "Hey, I just found this game called Skullgirls. Is it any good?" And he says, "Sure, I know this game. I've already played this game before. It's a good game in general." "Oh, cool. Do you still have that game in your phone now?" "No." Well, that was a waste of time. So in the end, I decided to download it just out of curiosity. Oh, would you look at that? Another file's being downloaded again inside the game. So I wait for an unknown amount of times. Oh hey, it's done. Let's see what's inside, shall we? Once everything's done, my first main take is how good the design of the main menu was. Alright, apologize, this footage was not from 2018. I couldn't find any 2018 Skullgirls footage from the internet. There's absolutely no way that my 13 years old self would have known a recording software. Let's get back to the video. Even the music was awesome too, especially this part. And for the overall visual, I really like the art style to it. It was so good that I'm thinking that this was a card game, something that goes along with Yu-Gi-Oh! Or even the popular one like Hearthstone. I mean, technically it's built in like a card game, but I was very wrong about that. It turns out that this is a fighting game, something I've never seen in my entire life. And the only fighting game that I know in mobile back then was King of Fighter 8 2012, and that game was gone very long. Okay, before we move on, this is just a little information about my nickname in Skullgirls Mobile. Now my name was spelled MTR4KE, as it spells Mandrake. Now why this one instead of the actual name of Mandrake? Unfortunately, that name was already taken by someone. I'm afraid that there's gonna be someone who with the name of me and pretended to be me. I mean look, I have no friend whatsoever, and I have a shit tons amount of golden gift, which I have no idea what was that supposed to be. I know it's not important at all, but I'm saying this because to let you know my real name in Skullgirls Mobile. Alright, back to the video. And after playing it for a while, I began to addicted by this game for better or worse. All play every day from morning to evening. I can't get away of how good this game was. But all of that changed very soon after 8 months later, when I have a Steam account and finally made the change to PC gaming. At that time, I was just joking around about having Skullgirls was available on Steam, and surprise surprise, there is a PC version of Skullgirls Mobile. I thought that would be funny if it show up the same thing or just another game called Skullgirls. But boy was I wrong, it was an original Skullgirls out of all Skullgirls ever. Also, I was very curious if the PC version was very similar to mobile, though I want to try it out, but then I realized it cost me money. So me poor fellas in 2018 throughout 2019 can't even afford a single game after all. So I have no other chance but to call someone who can help me with that.
Shiver me timbers, shiver me timbers, shiver me timber, 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 shiver me timber.
After I went through my trustworthy pirate fellows on internet, I finally made a jump into Skullgirls on PC. And when I first time seeing the gameplay, I was shocked because it is so different from the mobile version. They didn't have some things like special move nor blockbuster that was shown in UI. But what makes this little bit shocked is how good the tutorial was. And this is the year of 2019 when I'm trying to implement on fighting games for the better or worse. So it's no surprise that when I tried the tutorial, it was packed with some information. From movement, attacks, blockings, supers, and even mix-up like what is this? I've never seen one like this before. Unfortunately, I can't play the online yet because of course it's pirate, but I had the chance to play the story mode. It was a fun yet sad experience I've ever had. So I had no other option but to wait and try to save my money until I have enough to buy Skullgirls. However, that took me so long until 19th of December 2020 when I finally had a chance to buy Skullgirls in Steam. Very nice. And as I was expected, my first online experience wasn't that good either. I kinda struggling a lot for the first time, but I don't just give up that yet. And then everything was history. As I'm having fun throughout time to time, my curiosity came into me. It goes like, oh boy, I'm enjoying this game very much. I wonder if this game gets an up. Oh. Hey, at least it wasn't that bad, right? Well, fuck. Oh well, that's the whole nonsense yet true story of how I got into this game. Everything was so random and out of place, but it was a pleasure to the game that helps me to introduce to fighting games. I hope one day I can get better than that. Alright, that's a lot of yapping, let's move on, shall we? More when I'm playing series? I'm afraid not, because I got a total of 5 ineligible warning, and I'm just scared that my channel will be in any danger by copyrighted or strike. Of course, this song was not mine, it was owned by Mr. Spodio himself. So no, I'm not continuing the When I'm Serious again. Also, why does the Big Ben one doesn't have any strikes? First impression when you got the 10,000 subs? Again, if you can't answer it all, it's fine. At least one will be enough. Congratulations on the 10k subs. Sub to you months ago. Thank you so much, man. You know, I personally feel grateful and proud of myself when I got 10,000 subs for the first time. It feels like an achievement. More likely my lifetime achievement that I was not gonna be able to do that all again. And for all of that, I thank to you guys who made it possible, and I was feel grateful. This is kinda unrelated, but do you know a thing about Toho? Yes, I did. And how did you find it out? I have no idea, man. Some guy randomly just sent this picture of Chino Furmo way back in 2022 in Discord. I thought it was cool, I guess. What do your mains on Skullgirls? I always ran with Eliza and Big Ben. Why? Because that's the only characters that I know how to play. I could not know how to play any characters besides these two. My favorite character in Skullgirls? Honestly, there's a lot of cool character in this game, but if I had to choose one, I'ma go with Panzer Force because he's cool, he's strong, and he's one such a unit. And I believe in his supremacy. One day he'll make a debut onto season 2. Hope so. Congratulations in your own progress, dude. Thank you once again. Here, let me ask. If it's just one, then please just a second. Don't worry, I'll answer everything that you have. How did you choose to make video edits? You mean the software that I use for editing videos? Or my preference to edit a video? I'm assuming it's the same thing, but luckily someone in Discord also asked me the same one, so I'm just answering both of them. So first of all, I'm using Premiere Pro 2018 and DaVinci Resolve for editing. But as of right now, I majority use Premiere Pro as a main software because it's easy to learn and easy to understand. And yes, I only had the 2018 version because that's the only version that I have full access, and I will never ever upgrade it to the latest version. Because fuck Adobe and fuck everything that they had. And second of all, this maybe looks weird to you, but I always put the clip and edit it before I recorded my voice. This one makes me save a lot of times and I don't have to worry again about how the main video should do. It's not a life hack, but it helps me a lot. Do you have any advice to the new one who wants to start in YouTube career? Honestly, I have no idea nor any advice for those who want to start in YouTube. But if there's only one helpful tips that I have, my guess is try to follow any updates from a game or maybe other movie series that you like, and make a video recording to the update of what was happening that going on to the series or the game as fast as possible. Do you have a favorite music band? Of course I do. Every people will always have one favorite music band on their list, just like me. Now I have so many favorite music bands in my life, but there was only one band that I favorite much. Now you might be remember Subtitles, but if you're not, they are a rock band from Swedish. They always deliver some of the banger rock music. Not only that, every music that they produce was always about history of wars, including the music video. So not only you listening to a banger, they are teaching you some history at the same time. It's fire. My least and favorite color palette? Honestly, I can't even tell my least favorite color palette. I mean, every palette looks pretty awesome and had a tons of reference. But if I would have to choose one, I guess it would be the original palette, especially the number 1. Or it might be the vintage black and white variant that was only available by some characters like Peacock and Annie. On the other hand, here's my list of favorite color palette from all of 18 characters in Skullgirls. Valentine was relatively new into my favorite, although she already had the Kakashi variant as palette number 26, but that one was not accurate at all. I'm happy that they added the even better one. You work at Hidden Variable Club? No. What is your impression about the growing of Skullgirls community in the last years? Pretty good actually. It was a big surprise after the thing that's happened to the game in the last year of 2020. Until strokes happen. Peacock slash Big Ben baka mitay with no, just no, I don't want to get any copyright strike. How often do you blink? Twice per minute. It's normal. Don't tell me that is weird. It's part of my habit. What is your favorite soundtrack in Skullgirls? A lot actually. But my favorite was when Annie coming out with her theme music, the stars and the stage are set. But then, 2 years later, when Skullgirls Mobile releasing a brand new theme song called The New Meridian Nocturne, it was an easy decision to replace Annie's theme music with this one as my favorite. Also fun fact, that theme song was the background of this video. What Skullgirls character do you relate the most? I have no idea. I mean, to be honest, there is a lot of cool characters in that game, not gonna lie, but I'm not the same level as them. So I'll go with this chill looking skeleton guy from Mary's. He does absolute nothing to you, but hey, at least he's there to exist. Have you ever heard of Darkstalker? If you have, don't you think that a Skullgirls cross Darkstalker crossover would be amazing? Of course dude, I would love to see it. Even just a small crossover, I would gladly to see if these two games could have a crossover. If only we can take back to that time. How much wood could Peacock chuck if Peacock could chuck? No, what? I don't know. I'm not a bird man. Should I answer this? Fine. Well, if Peacock can chuck wood, I would say it's 15 per day, just like how she smokes a cigarette per day. Opinion of Slipknots? And if you do like them, who's your favorite members and song? I actually like them. Even though I didn't listen to their music regularly nor weekly, I still respected them. They were OG and cool. Honestly, I can't even tell which Slipknot song was my favorite, but I remember when I saw Sean Crahan for the first time in the Hot One series, he became clearly my favorite member because of the humors. Who do you think will be the next character after Dali? Oh no. Oh my god. Look, I know these comments are 2.5 years old, but I just feel so bad for those who ask whether Mary will be the next DLC characters or not. And those are the time when Mary hasn't been revealed yet. If I'm gonna make a guess again who's gonna make it into season 2, I would gladly accept Minute or Brain Drain. But then again, I feel sorry for those who ask the same question as those. Good job. Yeah, good job indeed. Who's from the Skullgirl cast would you like to hang out with most and why? If I had a chance to have a hangout and a little discussion from one of Skullgirl's cast, I'm choosing Liam O'Brien. And for those who don't know, Liam was the one who voices Leviathan. Not only that, Liam also voiced many characters in both cartoons and video games. And as a surprise, he voices characters from my childhood video games. This one including Akula Submarine from Let Alert 3, Brian O'Neill from Mafia 2, very clever name right there, and even 3 different Call of Duty franchise from Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2 into Black Ops 2 as an additional voices from soldiers. Even David Mason from E3 trailer demo of Black Ops 2 in 2012. Although there's still some cast I would like to meet in real life, but I can only choose one. What is your favorite team? Characters, assists, skins, and alternate voices. Everyone knows that I always run out with Eliza and Big Ben because that's the only character that I only know how to play. And for assists, it is not surprised that I choose Brass Knuckle Heavy on Big Ben. You can make any of this anytime and anywhere you want. Now this is a little weird. For Eliza, I always trust her with Throne of Isis. And if you wonder, was that any good? Yes, and here's 2 simple things. First one being an anti-Sooner tool, or maybe an interesting interaction like this. But the main part is, you can do something sick nasty like this.
Hardly felt it.
Hush, child.
Cool, right? For the color palette, I love the combination of white color. Sometimes if I was bored, I ran with Jotaro or Dio's skin in some cases because it's lore accurate of course. And lastly, for the alternate voice, there's no regret to choose Sexploitation as an alternate voices for Big Ben and Volley Girl's voice for Painwheel because she is cute.
Hi. Uh-huh.
You got a new TV? No, I don't. Because why not? Do you play on keyboard or controller? For the last 2 years, between 2020 throughout early 2022, I'm a keyboard warrior of course, I was born in keyboard. But then, I decided to make my change to hitbox on May 2022. And to be honest, this was the best change I've ever made. I don't need to set my keys while I'm in a tournament anymore. That's good. How do you like your eggs made if you had to eat for breakfast? I'm more of a scramble guy all day every day, but when I had a lot of empty time, I cook it in a traditional egg yolk style, or in some cases, omelette style. Favorite drink? Honestly, I would like to have an unlimited supply of orange juices. But sometimes I want to try something refreshing that I haven't tried in my entire life. Like for example, a cucumber lemonade or just the cucumber drink by itself. I'm a type of guy who can take any sourness by any means necessary. Even I can eat 2 lemons at the same time. So it's not a big deal to drink a full of lemonade every single time. But hey, come on, we know that the water is top tier, it's healthy and refreshing. So hydrate yourself. White chocolate or dark chocolate? Oh, we're talking food now? Okay, I'm done with this. Anyway, I prefer white chocolate. Why? Because it's sweet and savory. Dark chocolate, however, it's just a little bit bitter in my mouth, and I don't like how the taste was. Although brown chocolate was good, I still prefer the white one. Also, please don't take all of that word as a racist statement nor comment. That's the best way I can describe it, okay? Can we get a Big Ben Devil No. Do you have any other games that you have been enjoying as of late? Any plans on covering them, or is that undecided? Now this is the best yet interesting question ever. Now of course, as a fighting game player, you don't need to play fighting games every single times. Much like every single genre type of player, sometimes you need to play other games to refresh your brain from any stressful experience you had. Now I play a lot of games in my entire life, but this game was the one that I've been enjoyed lately. This one includes the beauty annihilation of Battlefield 1, the chaotic world of Need for Speed, the unbeknownst horror of Black Ops Zombies, and lastly, the silliest session of GTA Online. I know that the game that I mentioned wasn't feel so refreshing at all, but at least it kept me away from a depressed session of fighting games. However, there's one game that I want to try and plan on focusing it, and yes, it's a fighting game called Street Fighter. It's about time to take on another fighting games besides Tekken and Skullgirls. Unfortunately though, I don't have any time to support the game because I'm poor as hell. So maybe next time or someday. Where the Wang Uri Jangja Nemusa? Okay. Okay, first off, I'm sorry I have to enter my Indonesian pride into my deepest soul. And second of all, he is referring to my profile picture which was being replaced by this ugly ass. Just... oh, what is that? Looking at right now makes me itchy as hell. But I'm glad that I reverted back because I realized how bad that was. Alright, let's talk to the topic. Now what you see this word, it's actually a lyric from a song called Sawang Sinawang. And it's considered one of the hardest songs in Indonesia while pandemic era. Now unfortunately I can't show you the full song since it's copyrighted. But I'm just gonna show you the exact lyric to what this guy was typing. Now you might be thinking, how does this horrendous face of my profile picture header relate to that song? Well, it actually comes from a TikTok that's shown of this guy who lip-synced to that song while doing something interesting. Well, let's just say he's narrowing his eye while sitting on crossed leg. That's the only best way I can describe it. Sadly though, the footage became a lost media from the internet. I still couldn't find the original video yet. I remember seeing it on 2021 to 2022. And still to this day, it's really hard to find the source, even using a reverse search engine. So yeah, that's the whole story of my YouTube profile picture. It's random. Least favorite characters to fight? Yes. Every time I see these duos on quick match, my best bet was try to survive for how many times that I can possibly do. Call me skill issue, but I hate them. ¿Hablas español o sabes un poco de español? Sí. Big Ben or Big Ben, do you know that I live in your walls? Absolutely not. And you're not in my walls instead. Also, isn't that some kind of 2022 things? Why Mandrake? That's the first ever reaction nor impression when I made this nickname. And to be honest, there aren't any meaning of it. It's just some random word that came inside of my head. And before you typing, no, this is not a nod to Drake nor that one plant from Harry Potter series. This was just come out of my head and it just pops like that, I guess. And just like that, we are done with the Q&As for now. I'm afraid that this is the end of the video. I'm just gonna say it's not a well edited video, but what matters is the passion of making this video that I deliver to you guys. And yes, I know my English was so bad and that can be as a reminder into my future self. But at least I'm doing my best as I can possibly could and hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. And for the love of God, please stop saying that I was dead. I am not dead, I'm alive, I'm healthy, and I'm here. I don't even know where the rumor was. Once again, thank you so much for all of you guys who supported this channel from 2021 to this day. Just seeing a new comments from my oldest video already put a smile on my face. With that being said, I'm glad that I can be back from this platform once again and to revive everything that I had. Hopefully soon I can make a better video and information than this. Oh, also, this video was uploaded during Ramadan, so happy Ramadan Mubarak to all brothers and sisters, and thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.